What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this brand new 2021 Mercedes Benz AMG GLE 63S. Huge shout out and thank you to Mercedes Benz of Northlake for providing this vehicle for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the brand new Mercedes Benz vehicles. They're getting in a ton of the 2021s and they have a lot of AMGs. So let's get right into it. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in Obsidian Black Metallic and has an MSRP at $124,000. Underneath the hood, this features a handcrafted AMG 4-liter 8-cylinder bi-turbocharged engine with EQ boost. It cranks out 603 horsepower with 627 pound-feet of torque, and the engine is paired to a 9-speed speed-shift automatic transmission and sends the power to all 4 wheels through the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. And with a curb weight around 5,400 pounds, you can expect to get 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. While this AMG SUV has some very staggering performance data for on-road use, partly due to the EQ system, which features a 21 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque electric motor in between the engine and transmission, this vehicle is also very capable off-road with various off-road settings, with ground clearance in the lowest driving mode at 7.5 inches, and then it can raise up around 4 inches. And it's quite capable with towing capacities at 6,000 pounds. The overall length is 190 inches with a wheelbase at 117.9. We get a width at 79.5 with a height at 70.2 inches. And then all running off a 22.5 gallon fuel tank, you can expect to get 15 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. Taking a look at the design of the AMG GLE 63, we have a massive grille up front, really helping to give this an aggressive design. We have vertical slots finished off in chrome, as well as a very large Mercedes logo right in the center. This also features a forward-facing camera, as well as 6 parking sensors all in the front bumper. And then we have a massive grille opening in the lower section of the bumper to allow maximum cooling to the radiators. And then more large openings on both sides of the bumper just to give this a more menacing appearance. We have a nice mesh design in the lower section, some nice slots within the grills, and then a chin spoiler down below, all finished off in the body color black. And then moving to the headlights, this features LED daytime running lights with a very nice design, as well as LED headlights with projector beams. And the front end ties together very nicely to the hood, which features 2 prominent body lines towards the center to give it an aggressive design. And then we also get 2 subtle body lines in the side of the hood to give the front end a wide appearance. And then moving to the side profile, we get a set of 21-inch AMG wheels that are finished off in a 2-tone satin silver and satin black design. And then you can see the slotted and drilled ventilated disc brakes in all 4 corners as well. The front ones measure in at 15.8 inches and the rear rotors measure in at 14.6. We also get a massive set of AMG brake calipers finished off in a bright red all around. And then being the AMG model, this features flared out fenders that give it a wider appearance. They have a really clean look all around. You can see just how much the rear one sticks out. And then along this front fender, we get the V8 Bi-Turbo 4MATIC logo as well. And then a very rounded design for the whole side profile of the vehicle, and we also get body colored door handles with chrome accents on the top and body colored mirror caps with LED turn signals located in them, and then black trim for the windows as well as the roof rails. This spec also features a set of aluminum running boards. And then taking a look at the overall side profile, very proportional vehicle, has a lot of muscle to it as well. And then as we make our way to the rear end, you can see how the C-pillar slopes down and blends nicely to the rear mounted spoiler. We also get LED taillights with a really clean design in them. GLE 63S logos over on the right side with AMG on the left. We get your Mercedes logo right in the center with chrome trim beneath that. Then we have 6 more parking sensors within the rear bumper, and then a trim piece in the farthest side to give it a wide appearance. And then moving down low, we have your trailer hitch right in the center with a diffuser all around it. And then finishing up with the blacked out dual exhaust system with quad tips. So there's a good look at the exterior as well as some of the performance specs on the GLE 63S. Comment down below, what do you guys think? I love the way this looks. I'm a huge SUV fan, and I just love how angular and muscular it is while still being clean and classy like a Mercedes. Then the performance specs, Motor Trend actually tested this a few seconds quicker than Mercedes claimed to 60. So this is a very capable vehicle in performance, and it can tow a lot, has a lot of ground clearance and off-road capabilities as well. So it seems to have a lot to offer. So now we're going to take a look at the interior. We have the new AMG key fob, which features the blacked out design to it. It has a really cool look. And then we already have the car locked. You can see the mirrors are already folded. All you have to do is grab the door handle, automatically unlocks, and the mirrors fold out, and we can get a great look at this interior. This particular spec features a blacked out leather interior with aluminum and carbon fiber accents, as well as a lighter gray accent along the seat. If we go ahead and start off with the door panel, we have this extremely soft leather all on the door panel with color contrast stitching. We even have some nice padding for your armrest. All of your aluminum controls are right here for your windows, as well as the rear sunshades. Your mirror controls are above that. Then we have your release handle with lock and unlock. All of your seat controls, memory seating. We have your heated and ventilated system up top with a Burmester audio system. We can see this carbon fiber trim with more leather and stitching. Very beautiful design. Then moving down low to the power liftgate button, as well as some storage in the lower portion of the door panel. And then moving our way inside, we can see the aluminum flowing to this AMG illuminated door sill. And then moving to the seat, we have smooth leather with color contrast stitching on the sides, as well as a light gray alcantara. There's perforated leather in the center with black alcantara and black stitching. Has a very nice stitching design to it. You can see how the bolsters are. We have an AMG logo up top with more stitching along the headrest. And then flipping around to the steering wheel, this has a flat bottom design and aluminum accents. We get black alcantara on the left and right side with smooth leather on the top and bottom, and we get an AMG logo. And then now inside, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we have a lot of controls on the left and right side and all around it. Over on this left side, these top buttons actually control the center screen in the gauge cluster. We have a touch sensitive button right here that can go through the screen. So over on the left side, you can see all the different modes we can have pop up. We have a pitch and roll gauge. We can continue scrolling up to Bluetooth, your route with fuel, different trip information, and items like that, as well as the time and date. And then if I scroll this over into the center, we can change what you see in the center display to a G meter. We have a normal tach, temperatures, we have horsepower and torque gauges, and then the different driving modes that you're in. And if I scroll over once more, we can control this side. We have your temperatures as well, and a few of the same settings, so I like how configurable all of this is. So then taking a look at these buttons right here, these actually change. You can tap the touchscreen section. So you have AMG Dynamics, traction control, your suspension, automatic or manual. And then on the bottom we have your exhaust, and then all of the same settings. So you can basically mix and match these and then tap it on and off. And then over on the right side is the shortcut for the actual driving mode. Just scrolling this, it changes your mode. It also comes up on the screen as I'm scrolling. So we have a lot of different driving modes in this vehicle, all the way from different off-road ones, inclement weather, your individual, and then different on-road capabilities. And then along with those, we have cruise control settings over on this left side, with a lot of your radio controls on the right side. And then to the left of the steering wheel, you can see some of this ambient lighting with more leather and stitching, all of your headlight controls, as well as the electronic parking brake, this beautiful carbon design with more leather and stitching, one of the air vents, as well as the heads-up display and part of the speaker system are on the dash. You can see more leather covering everything. And then we have two LCD screens for the gauges, as you already saw. This is touchscreen as well, so you can tap the home button. You can go under all of your different settings. This is a massive display. You can really do anything in this car, from changing all of the safety systems, your assistance, the vehicle itself, lighting controls, pretty much anything you can absolutely think about you can do in this screen. There's a lot to it. So then if I go ahead and go into reverse, which pulls all the way up, we have your backup camera on the right side, as well as a 360 view over on the left. You can also change all the different views over on this right side. Tapping the top one, we have a front view camera, and then a front with your top down. This one right here shows you all 3/4, as well as the top downs over on the left side. Then we have your full rear view, a rear view with the back, and then this one right here is for the trailer hitch, which is a really cool touch. And then just tapping this, it goes right into park, back to your main screen. And then below this, we have more air vents along with carbon trim and ambient lighting. I love having 4 air vents right in the center here. More stitching and leather. All the climate controls are right in the center as well. You can toggle these up and down for your temperature. Toggling these down will change the different zones. If you tap this menu button right here, it all comes up right on the screen. So you can actually use the touchscreen or use these physical buttons. You can easily make your fan speed go up and down by just tapping this, and it comes up on the screen. And then beneath all the climate controls, you can grab this aluminum piece right here and push it forward. This reveals 2 cup holders. We also have the heater and cooler, which is really cool to see. wireless phone charging. We have USB outlets over on the right side. And then beneath this, we have more black leather and aluminum and ambient lighting. I really love these grab handles, just gives it a really sporty design. And then over right here, this is all the touchpad for the center screen. Hitting that home button, it goes home. And like you would expect, you can just rest your hand right here and use this to go through everything in the screen. I like all the redundancies. You can either use this panel, the touch screen, or the touchpad down here. We also have different shortcut keys all around it. And then we have your radio on off with volume on the right side. We have a few more settings right in the center here, similar to what you have over on the steering wheel on the bottom side. And then right in the center of the vehicle, we have more of the leather. You can tap this button right here, opens up the center console. We have a lot of space in here, pretty good amount. And I like how these open up in two different pieces. That way you can have your armrest and a passenger can still gain access. And then coming over to the passenger side now, taking a look at the glove box. We have a huge bucket in there, a ton of space as you would expect. And of course we have more leather covering everything. So just now a full look at this interior. I love all the combinations with the leather, the two-tone, the stitching and carbon. It has an extremely premium design. And then up top we have a full panoramic sunroof. We have all the controls up here, and the entire headliner is finished off in alcantara. It has a beautiful design to it. We have your main button right in the center. Just tapping this back a little bit, the sunshade will automatically scroll back. And then just tapping the button forward, the glass will come up. And then moving to the rear seat space of the GLE, we can go ahead and open up the door. You can see the sunshade is already up. We have the same black leather and aluminum accents all around this back with the carbon fiber. Taking a look at the inside now, we have the same black leather with alcantara and perforated leather and all of the same stitching design to it. If I go ahead and hop into the rear, I have the driver's seat set to my height and I'm 5'11". Already we have a ton of space here. I have a lot of knee room actually. That's like 7 or 8 inches, and I have some foot room. Armrest is in a really good place. So definitely super roomy, and I love how you have the sunshade as well. And then right in the center here, we can open up the center pocket. We have a little bit of an armrest as well as 2 more cup holders. So I like to see that. And then right in front of me, we have all of your climate control settings as well as your air vents, and then some USBs on the lower section, as well as a spot for 2 cell phones. And then we even have a storage net right here and a spot to mount TVs. And then onto the rear storage, you can use the key fob button, the one on the door panel, or just grab underneath the Mercedes logo and just tap that button. Automatically opens up with the power lift gate, and we have a ton of space back here. Of course, this is an SUV, so you would expect it to be pretty large. We have a nice chrome metal piece on the side right here, then very squared off. There's no fenders on the inside, which is really nice to maximize space. You can open this up for a little bit more storage as well as the spare tire. And then with it closed, you can also raise and lower the vehicle. Just tapping this button right here, the whole rear of the car will lower to the lowest setting to make it a little bit easier to get in and out and put in any larger items. I don't know if it comes off on camera, but the rear end is completely squatting now, which makes it extremely convenient. And then you have a removable tonneau cover back here, and then by just pressing the buttons on the backs of these seats, we can unlock them and push them forward. And then now you can get a really good look at the interior space. This has a lot of space with seats that fold down nearly flat. Going into the second doors now, you can see just how much room we have. Still with plenty of space in front of the seats for any smaller items, but a really good way they've maximized space for this SUV. Alright, so we are now setting off in the GLE 63S. Now, I'm a huge fan of SUVs, and I love performance SUVs. They just seem to have such a cool blend. So we're in comfort mode right now. This is automatic, basic. Everything is in just the most normal default setting. As of right now, just to get our bearings with the car, I love how high up you are. It's not the biggest SUV out there, but it certainly isn't a small one either. You are nice and high up above other vehicles. You have a great view out the front. The heads-up display is really big, but also not in your way at all. The side windows do a really good job. They're pretty large, and the mirrors all do a good job letting me know what's going on behind. Looking over your left and right shoulder, you have pretty good view actually. Even though the third window is actually really small, it doesn't seem to hinder visibility. You have a lot of glass back there. As far as the suspension and comfort, as we are in comfort mode, the air ride suspension, as you would expect, is extremely nice. Mercedes is one of the best as far as having their cars feel like you are on a cloud, even going over bridge bumps like that. It is extremely smooth. I love how just comfortable it is. Then as far as road noise and everything like that, it's very quiet. You don't really hear anything. You can tell though this is the AMG. It just does feel a little bit tighter than a standard car is gonna feel. So I'm already noticing that even just in comfort mode. But as far as just the ergonomics, using everything, getting comfortable in it, the leather is so nice and soft. I love how everything feels. There is not a surface in this interior that is cheap. Every single surface you touch and look at looks extremely high quality. And that's one thing I noticed with Mercedes above their competitors. Everything looks perfect and beautiful. They probably have the best looking interiors by far in the industry for this price range. But really comfortable to get comfortable in the car. I know that's redundant, but we have like a pillow top headrest that is incredibly comfortable. And then all these seating controls. Actually, I'm gonna turn my ventilated seat on because it's a little toasty out, but very comfortable to be in here. And then now let's play with some of the fun modes because it's a performance vehicle. This is a top of the line car. Let's go into some driving modes now. I love how you have this little wheel right here. We're gonna go right into just race mode just to really feel out all the performance. That automatically puts us into Sport Plus suspension. We are lowering the suspension right now. The active exhaust is already on. And then I'm just gonna toggle over to the manual and automatic mode. You can do that on the steering wheel or toggle this button right here. And now we're in manual mode. You have a big gear selector on your heads-up display as well. Already, that was just barely touching the gas. You can hear that insane V8 sound. Mercedes probably makes the best sounding V8s. For a European car, you wouldn't expect such a muscular sound to it. Alright, so I was just barely getting into it. There is no body roll. Wow. The thing I love about this, you just don't expect it to be that performance and fast. It's an SUV. This is a family car. You're gonna take the kids to school, to soccer practice. You're gonna load up groceries and luggage in the back of this thing. And yet, this actually has so many driving modes, including a race mode on an SUV. Man, that sounds epic. I love the boost gauge on it. And then the horsepower and torque gauge kind of show you how much power you're putting out every time you accelerate. The steering is extremely responsive. I can't believe we're in an SUV again, and it can tow 6,000 pounds. Hitting bumps, you can feel how tight the car is. And also, as far as noise goes, you don't hear any crazy noise. All we're hearing is just the exhaust and engine. Man. And there's like a little thud every gear change, just like a little bit of thunder hitting you in the back. It's subtle, it's nothing too crazy loud or anything, but that is super sweet. So we'll do a little bit of a tighter turn now, actually in some gravel, and even though this isn't really off-road, I'm gonna put us all the way into one of the off-road settings. So I'll go into trail mode right now. We are raising all the way up to the +1 suspension. Obviously this isn't really off-roading, but on some gravel now, doing a 3-point turn. Good visibility, you can tell where the car is. The camera system is fantastic. The top-down view really shows you where everything is. I have all these rocks behind me, and even being such different shaped items, it's not just a flat brick wall. I can see everything so well. And then I even like on this top-down view, it clears up for the main screen that you're gonna be using. But just like that, actually, that was an easy 3-point turn. That camera system is fantastic. So now we're gonna go back down into the race mode. It's gonna lower all the way again. Exhaust opened up. Make sure we're still in manual, just toggle that. But I am impressed already. And now we'll do another acceleration, get up to some speed, feel it out once again. Man. That is so muscular. There's instant power. I love these bi-turbo engines Mercedes uses. It is just instant power. Then even taking a turn around 50 miles an hour, it is so stable. There's no body roll or anything like that. It doesn't feel like I'm in just a family SUV anymore. It feels like I'm now in a fun sports car. I wouldn't say you're gonna hit the tightest turns in it, being it is a big vehicle, but you can have fun actually playing with it. But I think, unfortunately, that is about it for the GLE 63S. Huge shout out and thank you to Hendrick Mercedes of Northlake for providing this vehicle for today's video. What an epic SUV. I would highly recommend checking one of these things out. But check out their website. They're getting all the brand new 2021s in, ready to go. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.